Hello there, my frugal friends. If you haven't already seen it, take a look at my recent video short on the garden, showing you some of the chaos that has reigned and progress that we have not made this year. Oh, sun's come out, makes a change. Anyway, this is where we're up to. So you know it's been wet. You know it's been not a great growing season this year, and it's not been great for us. We started some tomato plants. They grew about this big. Fortunately, I managed to get some off some neighbours who had grown some. I found some for free outside somebody's door, which was really good. So I do have some tomato plants at least growing in the garden. But otherwise, there's not much else happening. Let me show you. So blackberries, we get these for free. You've seen them before. They're great. I picked quite a few of them. I'm just leaving the rest now for the birds to finish off, and then we are going to cut back all of this. We have cut back on some of the tree. You can see here some of the branches that have gone back over. This is all wasteland behind us, so it doesn't matter if things get put back over there. There was some wild thorny vines growing in here. Bindweed is back again. I feel as though I'm consistently pulling up this stuff. It drives me mad. Who else has that in the garden? Only thing you can do, I think, is pull it up. If you've got any other suggestions, I would be very, very grateful. Get that out of the way. Blackcurrant bush has been great. I pruned it back last year quite significantly, and it has come back really well. But again, bindweed all up again. So that's done really well. And again, I've picked most of those. Now onto the tomatoes. So we've got this one here. We've got a few tomatoes growing. Got some yellow. Got a few tomatoes on there. I think we're going to end up with maybe a few dozen tomatoes. This is a bit of a thing. So if you look at the whole of the garden, you can see all of this green stuff. Now I can't remember what it was called. I bought a little plant of this that must have been in a pot no bigger than that, planted it, thought it'd be a little bit of ground cover. A little bit of ground cover is no joke. This stuff seems to just spread everywhere. It didn't help that Archie dog, who we used to have, would go on it and then kick it all up. So it just, even just like, if you get one little bit and throw it somewhere else, that's now going to plant itself over there. Drives us mad. So for this section, we've covered it with tiles. We're having an experiment, seeing whether or not it is going to kill it off. This was pretty well covered, and it seems to be going off. So I'm hoping the more we cover it, the better it's going to get. The other stuff we've got is some plastic sheeting that we've managed to get hold of. We're going to spread that over the whole of this stone area over winter. We're going to put some holes in it for drainage, because otherwise we're going to end up in swampland. But hopefully that will cover that. Rhubarb's gone on to a second flush. I cut this all back, did really, really well on it. But again, look, viney stuff growing, gets everywhere. It's come from this and it comes here and it drives me mad. Anyway, we will harvest some more of this, probably to make some more rhubarb ketchup, because that has gone down a storm at home. Blueberries picked and done, leaving a few left over for the birds. Gooseberry bush is done and dusted for the year. Apple tree is flourishing. If there's one thing that has enjoyed the wet weather, it has been the apple tree. These are not far off ready to harvest. Look at that. It's almost like it looks like a set of grapes. But those are there. So we've lost a few at the bottom, but that's absolutely fine. Wildlife can have those and different things. But some of these branches are heavy laden with apples. So they've done really, really well. We've moved some of our other pots around just to go over where this ground cover is, just to see if we can kill off some bits and bobs. We have raked it back there so it's not as thick as it is over here. This bed, the only thing that's managed to survive the rain and also Smarty Cat coming in here and kicking up all the seeds, is these gorgeous beetroots, which are looking magnificent. So we'll probably start pulling those soon and doing something with those. I kind of like roasted beetroot, so that's really good. This bed, if you saw it on the video from the short, was an absolute mess. So what I have done is under, I've put a sneaky layer of cardboard, put some soil on, and we're going to plant some winter lettuces, I think, in here, and some things like that that don't need deep soil, and hopefully the cardboard will rot down and we will be all good there. These 2 tomato plants I did not plant in here. I did plant the leeks, but I did not plant the tomatoes, but I saw them coming up and I thought, leave them, they'll be fine. This is going to get cut back massively. I've already started to cut it back. You can see down there where I've been chopping at it, but this is going to get cut back massively. When this dies off in the winter, I'm going to dig out at least 2/3 of the system that's in there. We dug out our hydrangea that was here because, again, getting too big. This is going to get cut back. Everything's just getting too big. Now this is our cherry tree, which we cut back purely to a main stalk last year and then left it because Chris just didn't get round to cutting it all down. And then it's all growing back like this. So we're going to see if this actually will come back maybe next year and start producing some fruit. Rose just needs cutting back. The rosemary, I'm thinking it's got so woody that should I take some cuttings, see if I can get some to get some roots into the system, and then dig it once they're established, dig this out and replant a smaller plant there. So overall, there we go, that's the garden. We've still got jobs to do. I've got a mirror in the shed that we took off the back of a dressing table that my sister was getting rid of, and I'm thinking of putting that maybe on the side of the shed just as something decorative. We need to finish tiling the barbecue. We still have loads of bricks left over from making the barbecue, and Chris has been saying he's going to do a planter for ages. We've got the building sand, the cement's in the shed. I don't know, it'll get done eventually, I hope. Anyway, that's where we're up to in the garden. We do have some potatoes growing down at the bottom. These have grown really well this year. Again, lots of rain, etc. So we've got those there. They are pretty much ready to dig up now, so we can get some potatoes for the rest of the year. Anyway, that's where we're up to in the garden. Hopefully it's given you a bit of an update. Have you got any suggestions on anything that you think we could do to get rid of all that ground cover other than the plan that we've already got for the winter? Hopefully that will work. We're going to have to make sure we peg down the cover really well, because when the winds get up, we don't want that blowing all over the place. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in watching more garden videos, see what we did last year, take a look over here. We were much more successful last year. I think it's just been one of those weird years where whether my commitment has not been as good as it should have been, and I should have done a little bit more. I think I put my tomato plants that I grew myself out a little bit too soon. I'm going to grow them a bit more inside instead, I think, this coming, season for next year. Thanks for watching. And if you want to know what I do with some of the produce, I'll put a video over here. In fact, I'll put that tomato ketchup, that rhubarb ketchup that I made over there. Really, really tasty. You won't want Heinz after trying that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.